In pro football, nobody's entitled to anything. You have to go out there and earn it.
I was pretty intent on proving myself.
We were going to determine the future of football in New England.
The Patriots are Super Bowl champions!
First dynasty of the century. This game is like a narcotic. You're chasing that forever.
Breaking news right now.
Spygate, Deflategate.
Aaron couldn't separate himself from that dark side.
That team won enough to become the villain.
We worked for Bill, but we played for Tom.
Bill tore Brady's head completely off.
There's things that are done that can't be undone.
I was just trying to hold it together the best I could.
This team will be scrutinized, celebrated for as long as the game of football is played.
That was part of the trailer from the new Apple TV Plus docuseries titled The Dynasty, New England Patriots. It follows owner Robert Kraft, quarterback Tom Brady, and head coach Bill Belichick through their historic 20-year run with never-before-seen footage from inside the Patriots locker room and candid interviews from the key figures at the center of one of the NFL's greatest dynasties. And joining us now to talk about it, Emmy Award-winning director and executive producer of the series, Matthew Hamachek, and Oscar, Emmy, Grammy, and Golden Globe-winning executive producer, Brian Grazer. So great to have you both here. I will be up front with this. I'm a New England Patriots fan. Brian, tell us about the challenges, though, of what drew you to telling the story, because the Patriots had this remarkable transformation from being this sort of underdog story that everyone loved to, by the end, being America's sports villain.
Well, first of all, I was always rather fascinated with this team, and I knew Bob Kraft. I knew how hard it was for him to eventually get the team quite a long time ago. And I love Ron Howard, and I love underdog stories. We've had great success making underdog stories get from tragedy to triumph, and including, say, the movie 8 Mile or Friday Night Lights, the movie or television show. Both of them have these dynamics in them. Beautiful Mind, Apollo 13, even Empire. So it's a value system that we really care about. And this particular story, because I was able to read the book, was a story that I'd never seen before or heard before. And in terms of they rise to a great success after, they pick Brady, who's a very high draft pick, and it's just a story that is, again, has never been seen before, because they go to great success, and then there's all of a sudden a tragedy of Deflategate, or there'll be the spy cheating scandal, or there's a death. There's so many different things that bring them up and down. And it was a story that I was very interested in. It was a value system that not only embodied the team, but many of the movies that I've produced. And so I was excited by it. And when Bob Kraft learned that we were tremendously interested in it, I had a conversation with Bob, and he said, look, if you're personally involved, I will go with you guys. And we were thrilled. And I was very excited to work with Matt on this.
So let's take a look at a scene where Matthew interviews longtime Patriots executive Ernie Adams, who gives a eye-opening answer about the team's sign-stealing scandal known as Spygate.
Ernie Adams is a genius. There's not one detail that Ernie Adams would not know about.
Just so you know, on this whole video thing.
The video thing?
The Jets game in 2007.
Oh.
Okay. I'm not going to reopen it.
Well, we have to talk it a
Yeah, right. But just I mean, this is, you're not going. I'm not. Like, could I tell you stories? Yes. Am I going to? No. I got some. This is. It's going to the grave with me a little bit.
Okay. Well, let's just talk about it. We'll see where we go.
We just sat down in the room, and I think there were 3 people from the league, and I was there. They were on a fact-finding mission. They were trying to determine what exactly had happened. The biggest thing everybody has to understand is that there have been plenty of teams in the history of the National Football League who have tried to take another team's signals.
Matthew, I'm going to refrain from editorializing how the NFL carried out this witch hunt against the New England Patriots.
Witch hunt.
That's what I said. But I'm curious as to your impressions of that interview with Ernie Adams. But more than that, look, the head coach of this team, well, he had been the head coach until a few weeks ago, Bill Belichick, famously tight-lipped. Talk to us about what it was like getting him to open up for this.
Well, it's interesting. I really didn't grow up a New England Patriots fan. And so I knew that when we made this, we had to cover things like Spygate, like Deflategate, like Aaron Hernandez. And the thing that we had that nobody else had really gotten before was access to the 70-plus players, coaches, league officials, fans, rivals. And in addition to that, we had 35,000 hours of never-before-seen archive. I think we could fill 2 Mack trucks with the tapes that we had to digitize and go through and find these sort of nuggets. And it's one thing to hear people talk about Bill Belichick addressing the team, you know, right after the Spygate scandal. It's an entirely different thing to watch him do it on footage. And so we had all of this access, and we were able to sort of tell an unvarnished version of the New England Patriots story.
All right, well, we're certainly looking forward to watching it. The 3rd and 4th episodes of The Dynasty, New England Patriots, will be available this Friday on Apple TV+. Director and executive producer Matthew Hamachek and executive producer Brian Grazer, thank you both so very much. And